Okay, I believe we're on and recording here. Folks, we're going to jump back to another subject we've already talked about a little bit. Universe locked, the second tumbler. Luke 13:23 through 28 says, someone said to him, Yeshua, Lord, are only a few people to be saved? So he said to them, struggle to enter through the narrow door, because I say to you, many will want to enter, but will not be able to enter. Once the owner of the house gets up and locks the door, then you will stand outside and knock at the door and say, Lord, Lord, let us in. And he will answer and say to you, I do not know you or where you are from. Then you will say, we ate and drank in front of you, and you taught in our streets. But he will reply, I say to you, I do not know where you are from. Get away from me, you evildoers. There will be crying and the grinding of teeth when you see Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and all the prophets in Yahweh's kingdom, but you are thrown out. You all know what a lock tumbler is. WordWeb describes it as a movable obstruction in a lock that must be adjusted to a given position, as by a key, before the bolt can be thrown. And Dictionary.com says it's in a lock, any locking or checking part that, when lifted or released by the action of a key or the like, allows the bolt to move. Right now, even in these end-time days, the universe is still moving around like a tumbler in a lock. But soon, very soon, Yahweh will lock this universe into a beautiful state of His glory, a state we look forward to with every fiber of our being. So, will you be locked in or locked out? Make your choice today. Choose life. Well, folks, I thought I was finished with this universe lock theme, but my wife, Marner, read Isaiah 66:22 through 23 the other day and noticed right away that Yahweh and Isaiah separated the Sabbath from lunar months. Let's read it. For just as the new heavens and the new earth that I will make will remain before me, declares Yahweh, so your descendants will remain and your name will remain. From one new moon to the next lunar month and from one Sabbath to the next Sabbath, all people will come to bow down to me in worship, says Yahweh. So Yahweh is looking forward to our worship when He and Yeshua are tabernacling with us here on earth. Isaiah understood the biblical lunar calendar, and we can see that he understands the meaning of Strong's word for moon, number 3391, Yarek, that means lunation. Isaiah quotes Yahweh himself, saying that the lunar calendar goes from one lunar conjunction to the next lunar conjunction. Yahweh, through Isaiah, virtually wrote the definition for the word lunation right there in verse 23. Look how Yahweh and Isaiah compare with Strong's definition for Yarek, a lunation, that is, month. Lunation's dictionary definitions from WordWeb, a lunation means a period between successive new moons. And at Dictionary.com, it means the period of time from one new moon to the next, a lunar month. Yahweh, Isaiah, and Dr. Strong agree that a lunation defines a lunar month. Verse 23 is a sure confirmation to our understanding of the biblical lunar calendar revealed in Exodus 2:2 and other scriptures. Isaiah read and knew the Torah of Moses. He lived and prophesied about 750 years after Moses, according to what he said in chapter 1, verse 1. Isaiah possibly lived through the calendar change caused by the Mars flyby in 701 BC, along with his buddy King Hezekiah. It'd be a good idea for you all to read the whole of chapter 66, maybe even chapter 65 also. Either when Yeshua returns or 1,000 years later, Yahweh is going to lock the universe into a glorious, eternal state, a state we can only imagine today. But according to verse 23, there will still be a moon revolving around the earth, going through its lunations. At the same time, Yahweh's followers will still be counting the days of the weekly Sabbath cycle. Notice how Yahweh through Isaiah separates the concept of the lunar month from that of the weekly Sabbath day or Sabbath cycle. They are two distinct and different aspects of Yahweh's biblical calendar. The moon determines the months, as we've learned before, and counting 24-hour days, 1 through 7, determines our week. We work 6 days and take the 7th day Sabbath off and rest. Yahweh, through Isaiah, does not even hint at the heresy that the Sabbath is tied to the lunar month or that the lunar month determines the Sabbath. which is a false teaching and doctrine. Yahweh's biblical principles and biblical lunar calendar will stand for all eternity. And look right there in verse 23, the weekly seventh-day Sabbath will last for all eternity also. Are you ready for a real change? I hope so. Repent of your sin and give your life to Yeshua today. Don't get locked out. You want to be locked in with Yahweh. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll talk to you again soon, hopefully with another video soon. All right, take care. Love y'all. Bye-bye.